Hi everyone, welcome to the Know Your PES YP panel discussion powered by Powering the Future Summit by IEEE PS Young Professional. So we welcome all the participants and our moderator and our panelists to this discussion today. So before we go in, I would like to invite Preeti Warrior to give a welcome address.
Thank you so much, Steji. Good evening to people from Asia and good morning to the rest of the world. Let me begin with a positive note. Happy IEEE Day to all the wonderful volunteers out there who selflessly contribute their time and put in their efforts to create an impact in the society and also serve the humanity. It's my pleasure to be part of the second pre-event of Powering the Future Summit 2021, global conference organized by IEEE Power and Energy Society Young Professionals. First, I would like to welcome Simai Akkar, Chair, IEEE Power and Energy Society Young Professionals, to wish the IEEE Day to all of you.
Thank you so much, Preeti, and thank you so much, Stashi. Hello, everyone. So I would like to, first of all, say Happy IEEE Day to all. This is a really great initiative, how we started celebrating IEEE Day some years ago, because it connects us with all IEEE volunteers having the same vision and mission across the world. So it reminds us we are one IEEE, and we have the spirit altogether, the same spirit as all volunteers and members. So it's really important to be here in this special day with wonderful volunteers. So I would like to first of all congratulate all Powering the Future Summit volunteers and all IEEE Power and Energy Society Young Professionals Committee who are making difference, who are contributing to leveraging technology for humanity, empowering the young professionals in the power and energy sector. So as you know, we have very first Powering the Future Summit this year that you will even hear more. We are so excited and it's coming up. So and this is the Know Your YP session. So having very successful young professionals from Asia Pacific who are also our volunteers, IEEE volunteers, who are just really contributing in their own sector, in their, community. And we would like to hear their stories today from them and celebrate IEEE Day together. Please, just wherever you are, don't forget to celebrate IEEE Day. You don't have to be organizational unit officer. Just share your knowledge, your passion with other people as we do. And don't forget to comment on this, session as well. We would like to hear from you because we are stronger together with you. That's why I want to keep it short. And I want to give space to wonderful young professionals who are speakers, the very distinguished young professionals who are speakers here, and we will hear more from them. And that's very important and special to connect and inspire each other. And thank you all for inspiring today, inspiring all of us today in this session in advance. And I'm so excited to hear from all of you. Happy IEEE Day, everyone. And the floor is back to you.
Thank you so much, Simai, for those wonderful words and remarks. It's now time to introduce our eminent panelists. I'm extremely happy to have three very active IEEE volunteers who have agreed to spend their valuable time with us. Maisha Tafanam is a software engineer trainee at Office Pack, USA. She has been an active IEEE volunteer since 2017. Currently, she is volunteering as the marketing assistant at IEEE Day and as the social media coordinator at the IEEE Region 10 Young Professionals Committee. She is also the current country representative for the IEEE PES CSAC and has successfully volunteered as the Global Communications Lead for the IEEE PES Day 2020 and 2021. It's my pleasure to welcome Maisha to this panel discussion of Know Your YP from PES.
Thank you, Preeti, and hello everyone. Hello, Simai, and all the other panel members. It's an honor to be here.
Thank you, Maisha. Let me now introduce our Second panelist, Mohammed Hussain Saleh. He graduated from Multimedia University in 2019 with a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering. Currently, he is pursuing his master's degree in engineering science as a graduate research assistant at the same university. His area of interest involves renewable energy, energy storage systems, and electrical installations. He has been an active member of IEEE since 2016. He was appointed as Malaysia Section Student Representative 2019-2021. In 2020, he founded IEEE Power and Energy Society Student Branch Chapter at MMU. Currently, he is serving as Student YP Transition Coordinator for IEEE Asia Pacific Young Professionals, Secretary for IEEE Malaysia Section Consultants Network, and IEEE PES Chapter SAC Country Representative. He has received multiple awards on a personal level as well as team level. His latest awards associated with IEEE were IEEE Asia Pacific Student Activities Committee Outstanding Student Volunteer Award 2019, IEEE Malaysia Outstanding Student Volunteer 2019, IEEE PES Malaysia Outstanding Student Volunteer Award 2020, Honorable Mention in IEEE Larry K. Wilson Regional Student Activities Award 2020, and IEEE Richard E. Mervyn Student Scholarship Award 2021. Welcome, Hussain, to this panel discussion on Know Your PES YP.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the warm welcome and the lengthy the lengthy introduction. It's great, and it's my pleasure to be here. And I would like to start and wish a very happy IEEE Day to all our members. So thank you for inviting me, and I wish we have a fruitful event today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hussain. Let me now introduce our third panelist, Anandu S Kumar. He is currently working as the Senior Executive Light Designing at Wipro Lighting. He is also one of the well-known IEEE volunteers of IEEE Kerala section. Anandu is also serving as the Young Professionals Activity Coordinator, IEEE PES Kerala Chapter, Regional Coordinator IEEE PES Day 2021, and Mentor IEEE Student Branch CEK. He was announced as the IEEE PES Outstanding Engineer Award 2020 by IEEE PES Headquarters. He had graduated from Cochin University of Science and Technology in the year 2018. During his college time, he had served as the chairperson of IEEE SB College of Engineering Karunakapalli and played a key role to revamp it. Welcome, Anandu, to this panel discussion.
Thank you, Preeti, for that nice introduction. So happy IEEE Day to each and every volunteers across the globe. Thank you.
Thank you, Anandu. Let me now invite the moderator of the session, Adidoin, who is currently the Vice Chair for IEEE Power and Energy Society Young Professionals. I won't take much of time, so without further ado, Adidoin, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much for doing the introductions, Preeti. Hello, everyone, again, and welcome to this pre-event for our Global Summit. Thank you so much for joining us today. So basically, the aim of this event, Know Your PES YP, is to provide a platform for the exchange of ideas among people with common interest in the power and energy sector, in order to boost awareness about the importance of IEEE and PES membership in professional career. Today, as Preeti already introduced, we have three very distinguished guests from the Asia Pacific region of IEEE, who are definitely making great strides in their professional careers, as well as in their volunteering engagements. I believe it was Isaac Newton who said that if I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulder of giants, right? So the idea is for our speakers to share their experiences and insights about their careers as well as their PES YP journey, so that we as young professionals can learn from them and hopefully replicate their success. So yeah, as Preeti introduced, my name is Adedoyin Olaji and I'll be moderating this panel discussion. So to break the ice a little bit, right? Could each of you, okay, before we move on to the panel discussion, I'd like to tell our audience who are watching live on YouTube and Facebook. Please feel free to drop whatever questions you have for our speakers in the chat, and they will definitely be addressed in the course of today's discussion. All right, so to break the ice a little bit, could each of you share with us your educational and cultural background, where you were born and raised, where you're currently living, as well as your educational history? So let's begin with Maisha.
Hi, so I'm Maisha Tafanum, as introduced. So I was born and raised, and I'm still living in Bangladesh, Region 10. I completed my bachelor in science from with the major of computer science engineering from North South University, Bangladesh. And yeah, I am planning my higher studies right now and looking forward to start my professional journey.
Awesome. It's nice to meet you, Maisha. Thank you for joining us. All right, Hussein, would you like to do the honors?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Mohammed Hussain, and I was actually born and raised in Yemen. So Yemen is actually it's located, based on IEEE map. It's based on in region 8. Okay, I've been living in Malaysia for the past 7 years. I'm in love with this culture. So I might be finishing maybe my studies next year, but I'm already finding it very difficult. Like leaving which I call as a second home. So like it has been really a great experience being able to travel and study abroad, regardless of what's the country. And Malaysia is just one of the greatest examples. It's a multi-cultural, multi-religious, multi-racial countries that I've really enjoyed the journey so far. As of my educational background, so as I think mentioned, I just graduated in 2019 with a bachelor in electrical engineering. Currently, I'm working as a graduate student assistant in the same university. I'm doing my master's in engineering science, and currently I'm investigating like more just about my works. Like I'm investigating the technical and economical visibility of utilizing second life EV batteries as energy storage system. That's all about me. Thank you.
That's really nice. Your research sounds very interesting, Hussein. And yeah, it's good to know that you found a second home in Malaysia. That's wonderful. All right, Anandu, over to you.
Hi, myself Anandu S Kumar. So I'm born and raised at Kerala, the southern state of India, in IEEE map in region 10. So I'm a electrical engineering graduate from Cochin University of Science and Technology. I'm completed my engineering bachelor's from two different affiliated engineering college. One is College of Engineering Karnagapalli, and another one is College of Engineering Chenganur. So first 3 years I was studied in College of Engineering Karnagapalli, where I was the IEEE student branch chair. So I'm started my IEEE journey from 2014 as a student member. Right now, I'm a young professional member uh, with 8 years of IEEE membership. So, coming to my educational journey, so as I studied in two engineering colleges, I'm part of two IEEE student branch. Two of them, like in my time, the College of Engineering Karnapalli student branch was not that much active. So me and my counselor played a key role for revamping the IEEE student branch of College of Engineering Karnapalli. And I'm become one of the founder member of IEEE PS student branch chapter in the same institution. Coming back to College of Engineering Chenganur, where I'm completed my final year engineering graduation. In that institution, the IEEE was very, very active because at that point of time, IEEE College of Engineering Chenganur is the only student branch in Kerala have a the region assembly student branch at that time. Also, with the highest number of IEEE members around at that time, around 350 plus members, and very active. So also I am become part of IEEE PS Kerala chapter activities as a student volunteer in PS Kerala chapter. So I'm much more interested towards power energy society, and from 14 to till date, I am morely working with IEEE Power Energy Society and its multiple initiatives like smart village, smart cities, and so on. Thank you.
That's very interesting. Thank you so much for all your dedication and efforts in IEEE. So, would you guys be able to tell us about your professional and career journeys? Companies that you've worked with, roles and responsibilities that you have undertaken. And it would also be nice, if you can tell us your favorite thing about your job. So, okay, Anandu, you go first this time.
Okay, so actually, I'm actually working as a senior executive light design engineer at Wipro Lighting. So my current role is actually designing of infrastructure projects around three states in Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, except Chennai and Bangalore area. So these are three states in southern part of India. So I'm mainly taking care of the lighting design part. So I'm joined Wipro Lighting in 2018 as a graduate intern from my college. I'm recruited to Wipro Lighting. So the first year was a very tough journey. So as an intern, I have to work on multiple projects like hospitals, ITS buildings, metros, airports, and so on. So I have gone through different level of trainings like facade lighting, street lighting, flood lighting, and different type of standards. Like in India, there is an Indian standard for lighting is there, and for each international standards and different photometry of the luminaires, their testing, and so on. So actually, when the lighting is concerned, lighting we can say it is a part of electrical. But after the introduction of light emitting diode, so it is gone through like a electronics, much more electronics background. So currently, I'm taking care of a lot of projects in Kerala. So some of the projects that I'm work with are Kannur International Airport. It's an airport located in Kerala state. It's an international airport. I'm completely designed and executed the lighting part of that particular airport. And Kochi metro lighting. There is a city called Cochin in Kerala. So that metro project, I'm completed it, and especially the smart and connect street lighting part of Cochin metro, I'm done from my side. And definitely I'm done around 200 plus hospitals, around 300 plus ITS institutions, which include Wipro Technologies, Tata Consultancy Services, Cognizant Consultancy Services, and so on. So these are about my professional journey so far regarding in my career stage as of now. So I'm trying for a transition stage as of now. That's it.
Oh, wow. That's really impressive, Anando. It's great to know that, your work is literally impacting a lot of people, right? And yeah, that's really great. Thank you for sharing that, Anando. All right. So, Maisha, would you like to tell us about your professional journey?
So I think it would be better if Hussein went first because I just finished my undergrad and I am just starting. I am about to start my professional journey. Um, so I have now many people confuse me with with an triple E student because of my volunteering with PES, but I'm actually a computer science engineering background student. So I have completed my thesis project on a software based project. Actually, we made a platform for the freelancing community with integrating the local language and local payment system, because in Bangladesh there are many freelancers, but the problem that they face is the language barrier and the local transaction system. So we tried to work on this challenge and develop a system. So this was basically my undergrad project. And apart from that, as per the requirement to finish my degree, I had to either do a research project or an internship. So I went for internship. So I am so I started my internship and now I am working as a trainee in the Office Pack LLC. So my work is basically remote based. Like I work from home. So the company is basically US based. So we get our tasks and we work from home. And I mainly deal with the clients and the support desk. And I love communicating with different people from different parts of the world. So I just love what I do. So yeah, this is basically what I did up to now. But now I'm looking for, as I mentioned, I have like when I mention this, I get very happy because I recently completed my degree. So, so I am looking for a professional like my I am right now at the transition of from a student to a professional. So yeah, um, I feel very insignificant in front of Anandu and Hussain.
No, 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 no. I don't think so at all. For someone who just completed that undergrad, you already actually do have a professional journey. Talking about your research project and then your internship, or like that should not be undermined at all. So that's really impressive, Maisha. Thanks for
Thank you.
sharing. Hussein?
Yeah, sure. Just to add on, I mean, the first, since this is just an interactive session, I say that the first time I met Maisha, I honestly thought she was a professional because you see the level of involvement, of her. She's in IEEE Day for 2 years, IEEE BS Day for 2 years. She's also in our YP group. Like I honestly thought that she's really a professional for a couple of years, and
Me
trust
too.
me, yes. I mean, she's one of the best. I mean, I would say she's the best student volunteer I've ever worked with. Honestly, she's honestly, and like, I mean, if it would be a winning cut if you get her to work with you, either in volunteering or even, I think, I would assume the same thing for work. And she just graduated, so we would like to tell her congratulations. And
I will
I think,
cry. I will cry, Hussein. Maybe you can
and I
speak
think,
about yourself.
and
Literally,
I think,
it is like,
go ahead.
last 2 years I worked with PS Day. The Maisha is like like an angel. She will come to any point of time. She will save if any difficulties, anything. So I don't know. She's very
Oh,
hardworking one.
I
Okay.
call her a superwoman. I call her a
wow.
Yeah.
superwoman. Like she was doing her final exams. She's just helping. Like her final exam is tomorrow. I have some other volunteers. They just block me if they have a final exam. But she was doing a lot. So I mean, just to comment on what she said, I think she has done outstanding so far, considering she's just graduating. And back to
Wow.
me, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And back to me, like, you're not alone, Maisha. Also, I don't feel I've done as much. And I mean, I'm just a fresh graduate. I just graduated 2 years ago, and as mentioned earlier, I'm actually now working as a research graduate assistant, which I think is quite familiar term with a lot of people. So basically, what I'm doing is, like, I'm helping my professors, like, in conducting research on the topic I just mentioned. We are basically studying the technical visibility and economics. So now you have the electrical vehicle. So once, after like 6 7 years or 8 years of usage, the batteries, they don't become suitable anymore for usage. Now why? Because they're dropping capacity. Later on, like, once you charge it, it will not give you the enough mileage nor the power which is related to speed. So we are looking now, since a lot of attention is being turning into the electric vehicles. What will happen once we have a grow in the EV industry? What will happen to the EV batteries? So far, a lot of countries, and I would say most of the countries, they have not been utilizing or even thought what will they do for such batteries. And even standards, there's only one available standard so far on such on how do we deal with EV batteries. So it's quite a new topic, and I'm actually, to be honest with you, I was not really interested in research, to be honest with you. But then that topic is just, it's an industry topic to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like, working under such a topic is already somehow you're already kind of involved with the industry. So this is currently what I'm doing. um, Back, I did an internship in a solar company. I work as a project engineer, and I would say it's something nice, especially for internship. It was a small company. Now, and so my tasks were more of designing photovoltaic, or BV, known as BV, systems for residentially or commercially or for industry as well, which will include, of course, I mean, maximum demand calculations and measurements and cable sizing, the system installation itself, the monitoring, and like, doing the business proposal. So back to what I was saying, working in a small company. Now, if you go to big companies, which I know some, you'll find a dedicated team to each kind of task. So design, you will find some people working for the design, some other team who will do the installation, and then some other teams who are doing the reporting, of course, with the help of the technicians. But working in small companies, I think is very beneficial because I was able to work on each area of the company. So it really helped me a lot, and even to the extent that I was actually doing business proposals. So I think it was really a great experience to me, and I always recommend to students, like working for it's both good. It depends on what do you prefer. Working for big companies is good, and working for small companies, especially for internship, I think it's just excellent because you really learn a lot. And that's all. And some, of course, side work. Sometimes I actually work for an US based company as a English Arabic interpreter. So it's like, and since it's US time, so I have to work at night, and the difference between us and the US is just exactly 12 hours. So I have to work like all midnight. But yeah, it has been great experience. Thank you.
Wow, that's highly impressive, Hussein. As a pioneer, it's kind of daunting sometimes to be a pioneer to, chart a new course that no one else has, gone through. So I really commend you for that, and that's really brave. Thanks for sharing. So, Mayesha, you mentioned when you were talking about your professional journey that you're from a computer science background, right? So, what has been your motivation to be a part of PS? And maybe you can start by telling us how you ended up in PS, and then how do you think a member from a different domain can benefit from what PS has to offer?
Thank you for the question. So, this is the most common question that I get from my juniors or other friends who I meet from PES that, okay, you are from CSE. How did you? What are you doing in PES? Now, most people don't understand that to join PES or to join any other society, there is no requirement, right? That you have to be from this certain background. So and this happened to me as well. So interestingly, luckily, the first event that I volunteered for as an IEEE student member was a PES event. Sorry for the interruption in my network. Okay, so the first event that I volunteered for was an event organized by the PES student lunch chapter at my student branch. So um, at that time I felt that okay, mm, uh, as a fresher, you can say most people don't understand the difference between what IEEE is and what these societies does, right? So casually, I just took the membership because first year's membership was free, and I had met some amazing and lovely seniors who still are my mentors from PES. And eventually, as I started volunteering, my initial volunteering events were from PS. Like I found PS Day 2018 and so on. So my first international engagement started when I volunteered for IEEE PES Hack Ambassador as an ambassador in 2018. So at that time, I was added in an ambassador group, and at that time I was getting the fun of IEEE, connecting beyond borders, what PS says, that more power to the future and connecting beyond borders. So I was making friends from Brazil, from India, from Kerala, from everywhere. So it was the first time I was getting exposed to diversity. So I felt that okay, the people in PS are absolutely amazing. Like all the nicest people I think belong from PS, and I always tell that like it has been 4 years that I'm volunteering with PS, and all the people I have met from PS are absolutely amazing. Like also, if like in the previous discussion, Anandu and Hussain were telling about me, but I was tell about first Anandu. So last this year in PS Day, Anandu was the lead coordinator for the PS Day 2021, and like he's saying that I was always there, but uh, he was working full time, and he was all the time available at night, at morning, and anytime. and you know how crazy it can get to deal with ambassadors. Ananda used to deal with them so patiently, and if even we used to have any problems, we used to call Anandu. We are getting this problem, how to solve that, and all. So, uh, yeah, I mean, I in my life, all the amazing volunteers that I have seen and I follow are definitely from PES, starting from PES. And even at first when I known Anandu, I thought that he is very old man. Okay, he is a very like he I might be half of his age, like just seeing his picture and all. So I thought he's a very old man, but in 2021 when we started talking and all, I was like, you're a young professional. And same goes for Hussein. At first, my first impression was I met Hussein first from PSD team, and later on I discovered that he is also in the art and YP team. So I thought that he is that irritating, senior citizen type uncle who always picks up problems and who interrupts in all the works, who picks up corrections and all. So that was my first impression. But as I started working with them, I realized how amazing volunteers they are and how much I have to learn from them. Like it's an internal competition. Like I see these best volunteers and I need to be a best volunteer. So this is actually it actually. So I love volunteering, and I love to volunteer, or I love to work in a space where I can have fun. And PS has provided me so many opportunities that actually like one led to another. And today if someone says that, okay, I learn a lot from you, this is of course for PS. So yeah, even though I am from computer science background, but my initial interest was to go for electrical. I was more interested in power. This is actually, like as IEEE says, one of the benefits of IEEE is that you get to connect with your area of interest. So I connected with my area of interest, and I actually found literally I found like a home in PES. So I just love volunteering for PES. Yeah. Sorry, I took a lot of time. I get very excited when I explain this. And Anand and Hussein, they both are very special friends to me, because my first impression for them was a bit weird, but now they are two of the best people I know. Like they are the best volunteers I know. And all the young volunteers who thinks that they have something to prove, they have a lot to learn from Anandu and Hussein. Definitely.
Wow. That
just
was such an
just
epic response. Okay.
just to
Hussein?
add to the same question you asked her, actually, out of complimenting both these our outstanding volunteers, is, like, you're okay now. Electrical company, a lot of electric companies, they hire data analytics, right? A lot of people who are dealing, or even like, working with I mean, working especially with data. And now the grid is being digitalized, right? So we need people who are coming from the computer science, okay, field. So I think being involved with BS give them the advantage, of some of the basic knowledge of power and energy. So I think their presence is very important, and I think they should not take it lightly. I understand Maisha, and I totally agree with her. BS, it just feels like a family, regardless of what's your interest. Like, I mean, I have many volunteers that I could mention. Like, for example, Dr. Harun, he's not even related to any power energy, but he has been heavily involved in power energy, and a lot of volunteers. Why I feel, to be honest, this is very special about BS. It feels like a family. But then from that, this is one side. Aside from that, I think they shouldn't take it lightly. They should, take the opportunity and learn. They attend a lot of technical events where some of them, they're actually basic. They will start. There are some they're designed for the undergrad, so you're expected to grasp some information, basic information related to power and energy, which could give you a huge advantage in your career in the future, even if you're not coming from energy and power industry. Thank you.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Hussein and Maisha. That was an epic response. It was laced with humor, and at the same time, you were able to pass the message across. And I totally agree. IEEE family in general is like a family. I know personally, I've been able to connect with people from different places. I've been able to make new friends. I have Staji in India, Staji and Preeti in India. I have Simai in Turkey. So it's really beautiful and awesome. Thanks for sharing, Maisha. Okay, so Anandu, as someone who is heavily involved in IEEE, you mentioned your involvement in various areas. I think you also mentioned that you are actually involved into IEEE chapters, right? So, how have you been able to keep up the level of passion and enthusiasm in IEEE? How is it that your passion has not waned over the years? How have you been able to keep it going?
So definitely my passion is these guys actually. So like I have friends from literally all over the world. Like as Maisha mentioned, as Hussein mentioned, like we know each other. Before this panel discussion, we know each other very better. Like in Maisha, even at in India, it is around 1 o'clock. Probably Maisha at 2 o'clock or 1:30. So she will pick my call in the midnight regarding PS Day activities. I know it is an odd time, but she will resolve that issues. Hussein, all these friends from all over the globe. So that's make me towards IEEE, especially towards IEEE PES. As Maisha mentioned, so when we are working in my college time, I have some of my juniors, as Maisha mentioned, like Akshay Krishnan and all those guys. They are not actually basically from electrical, they are from computer science as well, but they are very passionate IEEE PS volunteers. So I think he was the last webmaster for PS Day 2021. I think he's also acting as the webmaster for our APEC 2021, so Asia Pacific, the key flagship conference of IEEE PS Asia Pacific region. So there is nothing for like the computer science or something like that. If you're interested in power energy, definitely you can come up and you can volunteer. Coming to the passion, like when I'm comparing to all other society, I'm part of industrial application society, I was part of computer society and all other societies. So the uniqueness in power energy society is engagement, especially its engagement towards the volunteers all across the globe. Maybe that may be the reason all time the PS student branch chapters and PS volunteers are very active and they are close each other. Because even though in social media, if you can find through the social media, like PS have PS network without borders groups, different kind of volunteers engagement activities like hack ambassador program, zero hunger day ambassador program, PS day ambassador program, and so on. There is a lot of activities are happening from PS side. So that's why when I was in my college days, I can see a lot of in Kerala. Most of the live senior members of IEEE were working with PES. So most of the live senior members, they were very encouraging. Like their engagement is very important for us because their life experience and their experience with IEEE and IEEE PES, which helped me and my friends attracted towards PES, and we have taken PES membership and we have started PES student branch chapter in our institution. After starting PS student branch chapter, we would like to know more about PS CSAC, their activities, PS Global Student Congress, and so on. So that level of engagement inside PS, especially PS, is very important in this particular point. Helped me and my colleagues to learn more about the friendship and the relations. More than that, the power energy, what is the things happening in power energy society field, especially as Hussein mentioned. So everything is going digital, smart grids. So data is very, very important nowadays. Even though you are from electrical background, we have to know about a lot of data analysis and all those things. So this is happening, all the world is going digital. After this COVID-19 pandemic, almost all of them are working from home. So this connections, this engagement of IEEE helped me to work with, and passion. My passion is increasing day by day because of this engagement, because of these people.
Wow, that's really awesome, Anando. As we've mentioned, PS has so many benefits. You have fun, you make friends, you get to network, you get to make an impact. It's like a complete package. So thank you so much, Anando.
I am very sorry, like I am interrupting again,
No,
but
please go
the
ahead.
the friendships that Anandu is mentioning, or I am saying about the friendship, like all the people in PS are so helpful. Like any kind of help you need. Like I remember asking guidance from someone from PS about what to do in my higher studies, or I was struggling with my final project, or I was struggling with my final exam, or what to do after 5 years. I don't know how to answer this and all, like any kind of, not just power and energy related, any kind of help I needed, I have always found these answers, this help from my PS friends. So yeah, I mean, if I I should say that if I did not study engineering, I wouldn't be able to be I wouldn't be able to get this privilege of being a PS member and get all these amazing friends. Yeah.
Wow. The beautiful thing that I love so much about today's panel discussion is so there's this saying that we should try as much as possible to outdo each other in honor. And that's what I see you guys doing, trying to outdo each other. Like Marisha is complimenting Anando and Hussein, and then they are also complimenting back. So this is just great. I love it. So Hussein, I'm going to throw the question to you
I'm
as
sorry
well.
for interrupting, but I can't even imagine the Hussein is going back to Region 8. Definitely, we will miss you, Hussein, actually. So, this is for me, it is a new information. He is from Yemen. I thought he was
I
based at Malaysia itself.
I will keep my address Malaysia. I want to stick to region 10. But I think there are a lot of outstanding volunteers also in region. You see, IEEE is global, and regardless what region you come from, you could still contribute and do. And actually, like IEEE in Yemen is not as active as, like, for example, in Malaysia or Bangladesh or like Kerala. So I think maybe it's something positive I could think of it. Like maybe I can, like step up what IEEE has been doing there. Actually, Yemen is a subsection, so it's not even a section. So maybe, who knows? I could be, like upgrading the subsection into a
Yes,
section
Yeah,
definitely,
in the
Hussein, you
definitely, you
future
can
can.
once
do
I have
that.
the enough
Yeah,
experience.
you can go with the same energy and the same fire and transfer it to Yemen.
Thank you. Sure.
Yeah, so Hussein, would you like to answer the same question, that Anandu talked about, talking about how you also keep up your level of passion and enthusiasm in IEEE, and why you find it important to volunteer your time and your energy and your effort and your talent?
I think, okay. Anandus, actually, to me, I find the answer in the question itself. Like, how are you managing and how are you doing? I think the keyword is passion itself. Then Anandu spoke about how, like, to kind of increase or keep this kind of passion. But to me, I'm not really sure. I feel like if you don't have the passion, I'm not really sure will you be able to create it, and so on. So to me, actually, the keyword is passion. If you're not passionate, especially, you see, sometimes it could get overwhelming. Like, I mean, in my passion and my undergrad studies, I was under a scholarship, and it's a very strict scholarship. If you drop from second upper class, you have to pay back the full scholarship. It's just crazy. So this is like one, and then I'm taking a lot of responsibilities. So it's sometimes it could get overwhelming, honestly. I mean, honestly, and this is one of the challenges that have been through. But I think the key is the passion. If you really have passion that you want to, like, for I to be like network, you want to network, like. And I think, rather than, to me, how I see IEEE, rather than a lot of people, they say, what's the benefit of IEEE, and so on. And like IEEE has a lot of benefits. But to me, how I see IEEE as something that could empower me. Now, so I'm somebody who, maybe, if you allow me to claim, that I love to help others. And IEEE is a powerful platform that enables you to do further and could reach out to more with a lot of resources. So to me, IEEE is a platform that helps me to contribute, helps me to volunteer. And I think this is what all of you guys are doing. You're volunteering. But to me, like when I started it, like I didn't know what is IEEE. I honestly didn't know. There was this friend of mine who was the chair back, and he was appointed as a chair. The student branch in our university was kind of inactive, and then he said that he wants to revive it. And then it's like I said, I didn't know what is that, because it was just my first month in my undergrad. I said, but then I said, what do we do? He said, we will be helping the students, we will be conducting events and so on. Then that's it. I say, okay, let's go for it. But then I went, I found out more of IEEE. So I find IEEE as a source of a great platform to volunteer. I find myself in it. I love to help others, and IEEE empowers me to do more. And the key word is always passion. You must have passion, because it could get overwhelming. But then, and when it does, so what do you do when it does? Like you have to identify yourself, like know what are your limits, learn to say no sometimes. Okay. And at the same time, sometimes things could get very hard. I mean, and events, like, they really take a lot of time, especially if we are working. But then you see, sometimes seeing the results, like I sometimes, like, you feel like, I sometimes think like, oh my god, this is like too much. But then once you see the result, you honestly think this was totally worth it, and I'm willing to repeat it again. Because seeing the results and seeing the impact of your volunteering, I think is very rewarding, and it keeps up our passion. That's all I could say. Thank you.
I could not agree any less, Hussein. IEEE is truly a rewarding experience, and I really loved one thing you touched on, which has actually been my case. The more you volunteer, the more you contribute, the more you find yourself, the more you figure out things that you didn't even know you were capable of doing, right? So it's like a self-discovery, self-awareness journey. It's truly beautiful. Thank you so much, Hussein. I loved your answer. Um, Maisha, right? You're currently in a transition process. Just graduated and then beginning or looking to start your professional journey. So, sometimes making that transition from student life to professional life can be overwhelming. How would you say that one can prepare during this transition, and what are skills that are necessary for one to possess for this transition season?
So thank you for the question. Yeah, I mean, as I mentioned, I just stepped into this world, and it can be so overwhelming. Yeah. So right now, what I feel is that the most important skills that are needed are time management skills, and of course, great communication skills. And one thing that I recently discovered is that a good command over the language, which is to be used in order to, sell yourself. I mean, what I mean to say is to highlight and exhibit your own individuality, and that makes you different from hundreds of other applicants. I mean, I have my seniors who, like, the most common things that we use for job applications, another is LinkedIn, another like job sources, right? So it's very easy to get our CVs rejected, and also we have to understand that we have to highlight our skills, like if I'm good at programming, hundreds of others can also be good at programming. But how I mold it, how I present it to the recruiter is very important. So a good comment over the language which I'm using to create my profile, to create my resume is very important. And we have to learn how to humbly sell ourselves in order to catch the eye of the recruiter. I mean, sometimes we might have like, as volunteers we have done a lot, like not all are important to be put in the CV, or not all are important to be put in our application. But we have to figure out what we are applying for, and which skills are relevant for us to mention. So moreover, personally, what I feel is that I might know 10 different skills, but I have to make sure I'm an expert in a few of them, or at least two or three. Most students tend to fill in their CVs with any words they know. Even I did that, even though I did not have expert knowledge on that skill. Um, at this time there are many ways to this is my personal opinion that there are many ways to pursue free skill courses. There are many courses that we can do, maybe a little payment. IEEE provides so many technical courses and all. So we have to utilize this opportunity to gain expert knowledge on that skill. And we these also comes with certifications after successful completion. So if I'm mentioning about, I have to keep in mind that if I'm mentioning about a skill, especially technical skills, I should have a certification from a good certifier to in order to pop my resume. So I think during this transition time, one should work on the most valuable skills that they think they have and gain expert guidance and proper, valid certification to validate the information they are putting in their resume. Now, I might have some weak links and I might have some strong points. So at this time, if I am passionate enough to learn some new other skills, I can go for it, I think. But from my personal level, I think I am good at communication. So I just look for circulars or applications that requires good communication skills, or technical writings and all. So I know my weak link is I don't really like to sit and do programming stuffs. So I try to avoid those kind of those kind of opportunities, because I know if they give me a problem. Now, as I mentioned, that the things that I love, I can do that whole day. I can do that any time of the day. But programming is not something I actually love, so I tend to avoid that thing. So what I would suggest is that during this transition period, we have to understand ourselves. We have to study ourselves and figure out which skills are actually the most highlights for ourselves and work on becoming expert on that. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. Self-discovery is kind of like a lifelong journey, and it's actually important because, many of us go to school for so many years. We do high school, undergraduate, masters, PhD. We're studying other things, but we actually fail to study ourselves. So thank you for touching on that, Maisha. It's actually very important to understand and study ourselves. And then with regards to the resume aspect, I think it's also good to kind of have like a master resume, which contains, all your skill sets, everything. And then whenever you are applying for a job, you can tailor your resume to the specific requirements of that particular job. So yeah, that's awesome. Thank you, Maisha. So Hussein, can you tell us three skills that young professionals should know while entering the power and energy sector? It could be technical, non-technical, but what are three ski- three key skills that you think it's important for young professionals?
Okay, so if I could think of that, I would say maybe, okay, so I start with saying the knowledge and the technical skills. Okay, so this is one now. And this contains, of course, you see, I mean, by the way, I have to declare that I'm not an expert. I'm just sharing my very humble opinion and experience. But I would say the knowledge and the technical skills, which include, being keep yourself updated with the new trends, with the new issues, with the new environmental, like issues and awareness, like as Anandu said, and I also mentioned earlier. Now everything is getting digitalized, right? And we as engineers, I tend to always hear, we are electrical engineering, we don't have to worry about, especially, okay, in the US it's linked, like, in the West is that electrical engineering and computer engineering is kind of related in some sense, but then in some other countries, they're totally separated and they're totally different. Then they say, oh, we don't have to worry about coding and, and data and programming and all. But this is changing, so keep yourself updated. This is very important. And other thing is, like, you always must know the basic economics, finance, and all, because you have to work sometimes with constraints of budget, and so on, and then you could deliver better designs for your clients, and also be more useful to your company. And also, if you are targeting, to go into managerial position in the future, these are like important skills. And aside from that, so this is like, and of course it could go to many more, but this is in summary, in short. And the other ones is professional skills, which include time management, teamwork, communication skills. And I think IEEE is one of the greatest platforms, especially for undergrad. Like, this is a great opportunity. It just sometimes, like, when I joined IEEE, and then I noticed this, like, official meetings, meeting minutes, and then official communication. It just gives you a kind of a preview of how the work will look like. And yeah, so these are like the professional skills. And lastly, and most importantly to me, your ethics, like, always be honest, always be truthful. Everybody appreciate that. And we are all, I think, regardless of our backgrounds and religions, I believe all religions, okay, encourage being ethical, honest, and truthful. And yeah, that's all I could think about. Thank you.
Yeah, that's really great, Hussein. Thank you for sharing. I think character is very important. In a sense, your skill and your ability can get you to a position, but it takes character to actually sustain it. So yeah, thanks for touching on that, Hussein. Okay, so I'm going to throw the question at you, Anandu. Can you also tell us three skills, in your opinion, that you think that young professionals should have?
Yeah, sure, definitely. So, from my experience, like I think Hussein is already mentioned. From my experience, like I'm studied electrical engineering, so I'm awarded with a degree called electrical and electronics engineering. So I know a little bit of electronics and as well as a little bit of electrical. Coming to the computer science, yeah, in first two semester I'm studied about C programming, and I have a theory paper and a lab, C programming lab. But coming to industry is like innovations are happening like anything. Everyone need the solution in their hand. That is the current scenario. So when I'm working with Kochi Metro street lighting, smart and connect street lighting, I come to know that you have to know about more about IoT, smart and connecting devices, the specialty of RF node. When I'm first time when I'm dealing with RF node in my undergraduate program, it was pretty easy. But in industry, it was like a hell. I have to know about LoRa and a lot of stuff. So even though I'm from an electrical and electronics background, even I'm working with a purely in an electrical and electronics industry, I have to know all those things, because nowadays even lighting is everything is smart and connect, human centric, and so on. So first thing, if you are studying, if you are an undergraduate, or if you are working, you have to know about the current trends, what is happening in the industry, what is happening in the day-to-day life. So you have to be updated with new technology. So you have to enroll yourself into new courses. You have to be updated so you can run with this race. That is very important, I feel. The second thing is definitely, if I'm studied power engineering, so I will only work in a power engineering sector. All these are myth nowadays. To be open, as an industrial person, last 3 years I'm working with this industry. I know these things, guys. You have to be good at your work as well as what is happening. As Hussein mentioned, if you are in a multinational company, I'm part of a multinational company. I'm just working as a design stage. I don't know what about the servicing part, installation part. I'm not aware about even some of the product developing part. So we have a dedicated team for product development. I'm only know about design, but you have to know about each and everything. Like at least little bit you have to know. So you don't limit yourself into a narrow stream, because if you need a career break, you have to suffer like anything. So you have to broad your career, and you have to know about some of product development, and some of the servicing part. So what is the installation part, you have to know, so you can be a champion. The third one is, as Hussein mentioned, so later, like after 10 years in India, after 10 years, you will be elevated to a manager position. If you become a manager position, definitely not only technical skill, you should have managerial skill. So you should be ready with that, and you should also be ready with the numbers, ready with the Excel sheets, so that you can sustain in the industry. As well as in academia, I feel the same thing. Not all, like you have to be updated, because nowadays the students are very intelligent, the most of them know about what is happening in the industry. So for example, electric vehicle, so some of the professors may not that much updated about electric vehicles. I know the some of the junior students who are studying in second years, they are mainly concentrating on how they can develop a Tesla like model in their UG level itself as a project. So like that, the in academia level as well as industrial level, the update yourself is very very important. If you are an engineer, the innovations are happening out, you have to be updated, you have to learn each and everything. I think we have to learn every day, so we can go with this race.
Thank you so much, Anandu. That was a brilliant response. So there you have it, folks. Three important things. Anandu touched on staying up to date with the current state of art in your field. And then secondly, about not limiting yourself to any particular sect. It's important to broaden your knowledge, and then also to have managerial skills. So this was a highly informative and stimulating panel discussion today. I had so much fun meeting you guys and hearing about your experience. And I believe that our attendees did as well. So as of now, I don't see any questions in the chat from the participants. So on that note, thank you guys so much for making out the time to be here. And I'm going to hand it over to our very lovely Staji to tell us a little bit about our upcoming global summit.
Okay, hi, can you hear me? Are you doing?
Yes, I can. Yep.
Yes, so hi everyone. So we are going to organize our first IEEE PS Global Conference Powering the Future Summit on 23rd, 24th, 30th, and 31st of October. That is last 2 weekends of October. So I invite you on behalf of the entire IEEE PS family. So we have a small video prepared for the Powering the Future Summit. So I would like to show that. So So that's it. So I will be giving vote of thanks on behalf of Alvin. So Alvin couldn't come today because of a network issue. So first of all, I would like to thank our panelists, Anandu S Kumar, Mohammed Hussain, and Maisha. So thank you for your time. I know you guys are working, and you found time in between your busy schedule to attend this panel discussion. It means a lot to us. So thank you for all your support. Thank you for accepting our invitation. And I would like to thank Adedoyin. So it's early morning there first, but she still attended. So I think it is 5:30, but still she attended it. She moderated very beautifully. Thank you, Adedoyin. And also I would like to thank our PSYP chair, Sumay Akkar, for all her support towards this conference and all our initiatives. And thank you, Preeti, for your welcome address, and our volunteers, for designing everything. Yeah, our design volunteers, content volunteers. I would like to thank them. So a lot of people have attended this uh, panel discussion today. So I would like to thank all our panelists, participants who attended. I hope you got benefited from this panel discussion, and feel free to reach out to us in case of any queries or any suggestions. We will be free to incorporate it. So thank you, everyone. So I think we can take a virtual photograph now. So I will add everyone to the uh, I'll just take it. Give me 1 second. Yes, we can save it as a memory. So I think Preeti is here. Yes, she's there. Let me see about Madhu. So yes, thank you. Okay. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for your support. Let me see. I don't know about Albin, whether he's there or he's having his network issue. So yeah. So we come to the end of this session. So thank you, guys. So we will end the
Thank you
broadcast
for
now.
having us here, and happy IEEE Day, everyone.
Happy IEEE Day to everyone. Thank you so
Happy
much for this
IEEE Day.
opportunity.
Thank you all.
Happy
Thank you, everyone.
Oh, Albin is here.
Thank you.
Alvin, are you there? I think he's.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, maybe we can take a picture with him also since he's.
Yes. Yes, Alvin, if you don't mind, you can wish IEEE happy IEEE Day to everyone who is attending.
Yeah, happy IEEE Day, and also I would like to thank each and every speakers, means panelists, and the host. So I just hear that I have facing some technical issue, so that way I may be happen in this section. So anyway, thank you and happy IEEE Day.
Thank you, Alvin. So thanks to all of you. It was really a wonderful panel discussion. It was really fun listening to you, and I'm really inspired by the passion you guys are having. So thank you for all your support.
Okay, bye bye everyone.
Bye
Stay
bye.
safe.